Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and to the final video that I'm filming in 2024. Today I'm doing this eyeshadow look with these two palettes and talking about brands that I wanted to try in 2024 and whether or not I actually did. So today I want to play with these two eyeshadow palettes. I've got the Winter Wonderland from Cosmic Beauty. This is such a beautiful blue, purple, teal sort of color story. I'm not sure actually what I want to use in here. I just know that I want to pair it specifically with two of the shades from the Lethal Cosmetics Wildflower palette. I want to pair it with this one specifically, and then I thought, I was just struck by how beautiful this color is right here. It's kind of navy. I think navy would be the best way to describe it, but I haven't played with it yet. So I want to play with that one and this one, and then do something with bringing in the Winter Wonderland palette. And I'm going to talk about the brands that I'd mentioned at the beginning of 2023 that I wanted to try in 2024, whether or not I did, and what my thoughts are if I did. Let's go in first with an eye primer. This is from Glamlight. This is the shade White Frosting. I usually use the White Frosting shade when I'm doing a very light or pastel or cool toned look. The other shade that I have is called Buttercream, and that one's more my skin tone. But if I'm doing something intentionally lighter, I might start with a white base because it makes it pop more. So, back in the beginning of 2023, I talked about brands that I had my eye on, brands that I wanted to try in 2024. And I went back and watched that video, but it was a little while ago, so hopefully I didn't miss any. I think I only mentioned 3 brands. I wasn't terribly ambitious because I know the limitations of my wallet. Let's put some moisture on my lips. This is the ColourPop lip oil in the shade Paper Pansy. Funny story, I have a napkin on my lap. These are old cloth napkins that got stained in the laundry, so I tend to use them more for rags. Well, one of them was living on the back of our daughter's high chair because she's always grubby and messy, and I don't want to use a dish towel to wipe her off after a meal, so I tend to keep an older napkin on the back of her chair, just wipe her hands, wipe her face, and good to go. Well, the other day I ended up doing my eyeshadow at the table, and I forgot to put back into my eyeshadow basket, or my makeup basket, the napkin that I was using to wipe off my brushes and clean them between colors. So later, a little while later, my husband goes to wipe off our baby after a meal, and she ends up all sparkly, and he doesn't know why. Then he looks at himself and he's like, no, I'm all sparkly. What was in this napkin? And then I realized, yeah, that was the one I was using for my brushes and not the one that was living on the back of her high chair. I was amused. It was entertaining. Let's start off with the Lethal palette. These shades are not labeled, so I'm specifically, like I said, I'm going to go into this one, and I'll probably be using that one as well. This is a sneaky color because it never actually looks like this, so I'm especially curious to see how it works today, what color it ends up being today. I'm starting with rather a stubby blending brush into this beautiful dark blue color. And I have I have cool blue leaning undertones, so I was curious to see how this was gonna play on my eyes. It does just look navy, doesn't it? I think I'll make my crease kind of heavy, or dark rather. Okay, so brands that I wanted to try in 2024. First off, Natasha Denona. And I have tried Natasha Denona. I bought the retro palette some time ago, and I really like the formula. It's a beautiful matte formula especially. I think the shimmers are fine. They're not very exciting. They're definitely more traditional. One of them I think is the most sparkly in the palette, and the rest are kind of a bit more laid back. Now, to be fair, the retro palette I believe is an older formulation. I think that as of I Need a Nude and beyond, Natasha has added in 1 or 2 formulas that are more sparkly, more competitive with what you're finding in indie brands. So I Need a Nude and Yucca and whatever else she's launched since, some of those palettes anyway, seem to have a little bit more sparkly shimmer formula. I'm looking at this. I feel like I've barely touched it, but I also feel like it's the kind of color that easily could get out of hand for me. So I've wiped off my brush and I'm just kind of softening these edges, but really trying to control the shape so it doesn't get out of control. Anyway, I like her matte formula. Natasha Denona's matte formula reminds me, especially the cream to powder, reminds me of Oud and Zai, where you kind of stick it in place and then soften the edges. much like I'm doing now, actually. I like that formula, and it was nice, and it was easy for me to work with because it felt comfortable for me. The other mattes were very nice as well, very blendable, quite buildable, easy to work with as well. I think it's a nice formula, but I think that it is not the one for me, especially for the price point. I since have also gotten 2 dupe palettes of Natasha Denona's Color Stories. I have the Lamora Nude from Amazon, which is like a $10 dupe for her I Need a Nude. And for me, that's fine. It actually gives me a color story that I like. Very simple, very truly neutral, not too warm, not too cool. And it does have some sparkly shimmers, and it was $10 instead of what, $70? And I also have the Wildwood palette from Alter Ego, which is duping her Yucca. And again, I actually prefer the packaging of that. It feels more beautiful and is cardboard. It feels sturdy in quality. The color story is the same. It's organized a little bit differently. Okay, that's good. But again, for the price point, now the Alter Ego palette is, I think, $22 if you buy it new, but I bought mine secondhand for $5. So again, it's a matter of what you're getting for the price. I don't think, for my preferences, that Natasha Denona was worth or is worth the price point. Although the quality is great, it's just still not what I'm looking for. So that's pretty. Ooh, what do I want to do now? I have no plan. All right, I'm looking at the Wonderland palette, Winter Wonderland from Cosmic Beauty. I'm kind of looking at this shade right here. This is called Atmosphere. It's a beautiful, like, it's a perfect peacock color. It's duochromatic at least. It's quite purpley pink, but then it's also quite, are you able to see in the mirror at all? It's extremely green when it flips. So I'm thinking that would be fun, but that would overall give me a very dark eye look. Reflection is catching my eye. I don't think I've used that one at all yet. It looks untouched. However, that's going to be really close to what I already have. It's not going to give me any contrast. Winter Solstice is beautiful. This is multichromatic, and it just transforms anything you put it with. But I think what I'm going to do is first lay down this green shade from the Lethal palette, this whatever it is. I'll pick it up with my finger and see what it does to the mattes that I have already. And then I'll build the rest of the look from there, because these were like the ones that I wanted to play with. And okay, and Winter Wonderland was almost an afterthought. Now, see, does that look green? No. Does that look anything like the shade that it is? No, it doesn't. Okay, now I definitely want some contrast. What can I get for contrast? Maybe dark purple or light purple? Let's go with the Comfort shade in Winter Wonderland. Put that here. That's not doing anything. Okay, let's go with Breathe, which is, ooh, hang on. This was Breathe. Apple, let's try Chill. I haven't used that one yet either. Oh, it's so blue. Man, this look is not exciting me. I'm picking up the shade here, Cold. I'm gonna purple up this outer corner a little bit. Okay, another brand that I wanted to try in 2024 was Gourmande Girls, and I also did try the Gourmande Girls brand. I have their Haunted palette, and I was really delighted with the formula in that one. Everyone that I watch is like, Gourmande Girls is great, Gourmande Girls is amazing, but I hadn't actually tried them myself until I got Haunted, and I really like it. The formula is beautiful. I now have a code with Gourmande Girls. How did that come about? I had done a reel, I think, and Christina, the owner, contacted me and said she loved the reel and she wanted to give me an affiliated code with the brand. So that was exciting. I don't think anyone's used it yet, but it's exciting nonetheless. So I'll pop that in the screen, or it's always linked in my description box along with my Nomad Cosmetics code. But anyway, I really liked the formula. It was great. I recently ranked all the palettes that I tried in 2024, and I don't remember what number it was, but Haunted was pretty high up there. Oh, that's better. Purpled it up a little bit. You know, compared with the purple, now I think I see a hint of green, but still not much. I need to do something totally different on the lower lash line. I think that I'm gonna do a silver shimmer on the lower lash line just to bring in some contrast. I think that this is looking very monochromatic and not quite what I was hoping it would be. So let's do that. Let me just gently take the shade Icicle in, no, not Icicle, that's still blue. Let's take Purple, the shade Blanket in Winter Wonderland, and just dust that really lightly on the lower lash line. I'm not trying to necessarily bring in much color. I just want to bring in a hint, just a whisper of something other than my skin tone to lay the silver on top of. So anyway, I tried Gourmande Girls and was very, very happy with their formula. It was so nice. The other palette that I really wanted from them was the Spooked palette, which was out of stock for so long, and I'm excited because I finally found one. It was on Mercari for I think $15, and I was like, wait, is this a mistake? Because they never sell for that low. And I looked closely at the pictures and the listing. The black shade in the palette had arrived to the buyer broken, and so that's why she was selling it for such a low price. I don't care. I looked closely. It doesn't look like it's like fully broken or panned or anything. It just looks like it's like the top layer has sort of crusted off. That doesn't bother me at all. I do not care. As long as, the only thing that would bother me is if it arrives to me and that shade has exploded all over the palette. That would frustrate me, but I would still do my best to clean it up and use it. I'm just excited because I've wanted that one for a while. My friend on Instagram is often using the Spooked palette. She gets the most amazing looks. So I'm excited. That'll be my second Gourmande Girls palette. I'm also bringing this Blanket shade in here for now. So yeah, really happy that I tried that brand because I'd wanted to, and I've been impressed. Very pleased with their formula. I'm taking the shade Wonderland. I just used this one here, Blanket. Now I'm taking Wonderland, and I'm just going to put that on a really small detail brush, which I will then spray. When you pick it up with a brush like this, it can be a bit flaky, and I want to be able to like press it onto my lower lash line without getting a bunch of fallout. So I'm hoping the spray, which is just any setting spray, I'm hoping that the spray will keep it where I put it and not drop onto my cheeks. But I'm gonna line the whole lower lash line with this shade and hope that it livens and brightens things up a bit. And finally, the other brand that I wanted to try in 2024 was Shellwe Makeup. I think they are maybe a Chinese brand. I don't remember. They have some really beautiful color stories. At the time that I made the 2023 video, I just got that on my eye. At the time that I made the video, I remember talking about their Mist Witch palette, which was beautiful. And since that launch, they have released more and just have really lovely color stories, lots of deeper, I won't say grungy, maybe slightly jewel tone leaning color stories are rather prevalent for the brand. They seem to have a beautiful formula, and I kind of wanted to try them out, but I did not try that brand this year. There are one or two for sale in Mercari, which I've sort of saved, but I haven't, the prices have not been within my range for me to buy them, or other things have just excited me more. What do we think of this? It's still needing something. What does it need? What does it need? Pick up Winter Solstice. No, it's not different enough. How about Frost? We'll just put Frost right here, just in the center, just to lighten that eye a bit. I'm starting to lose track of what I've done here to match the other eye. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's not quite what I was thinking, I think. But I'm gonna go off camera and do the other side. I will catch up, see how it all looks when it's all said and done. I have found that usually if I'm not loving an eye look when I've finished one side, by the time I complete the other side and I'm finally matching, it makes me feel better generally. Again, I might not be head over heels, but I just like it overall when I've got a complete finished look. So let me do that and I'll be right back. I think I matched the sides pretty well. Honestly, I went through so many different swatches and shades, I really was forgetting forgetting which ones I used to do the actual look, but I think I did. I think I got it to match. In my waterline, I put some white, I'm wearing mascara, and then the only thing on my face is blush from the Unearthly Spring Magic Blush Palette. So that's everything. I'd love to hear your thoughts as usual. I always enjoy chatting with you guys in the comments below. As far as the look itself, I do think it's pretty. There's just something about blue eyeshadow that I struggle with. I don't know if it's the specific tones or undertones, if it's dark versus light, I'm not sure. Like, I like the look. I think it's pretty. I mean, the inner corner is so poppy because I did that very intentionally. I just think that I like other colors on myself more, generally. But this is pretty, and of course I want to hear what you think because I appreciate you and your feedback and your thoughts, and I just like chatting about eyeshadow with you guys. As far as the palettes that I tried, or the brands that I tried in 2024, it was 2 out of 3, and as Meatloaf says, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. If you know, you know. Also, I don't really have a list for 2025. I think 2025 may end up being a really low buy or no buy year for me, because as I brought new things into my collection for 2024 and got rid of stuff that I didn't care for. I've really landed on a couple of brands that I love. I also don't want to be spending money recklessly. My husband and I are working to pay down things, and I just want to be wise and cognizant of my spending and to use what I have, because I did have one palette in my collection go moldy in 2024. I also have had a couple of formulas that I've been very comfortable with in the past not work as well, and that's just showing me that the palettes are aging. Of course they are. So I'm very much aware of that and really wanting to get the most use out of the things that I already own and love before they go bad, before the formula starts to slip or dry out or get moldy, before I have to discard them because they just don't work anymore. I want to use them. I want to play with them. I want to mix and match and have lots of fun. And it's easier to do that if I'm not bringing in new things that I get excited about as well. There are always going to be brands doing beautiful things, and I'm going to love new releases, but I don't have the money to go buy all the new stuff, and I don't want to. I want to just truly enjoy what I've got. I liked X palette enough to spend money on it and bring it into my home. I would like to use it. How sad would I be if I had to throw away some of my favorites because they just started to go bad and I hadn't gotten my money's worth out of them? Do you know what I mean? Anyway, that's why I think that 2025 might be more of a really low buy. I might give myself a cap, like you can only buy this many palettes for the whole year, or just a no buy entirely and see what I can do to play with what I have. We'll see. Haven't fully decided, but this is my final video filmed in 2024, so I want to wish you all a very happy new year and that you're looking forward to 2025 with anticipation and excitement. If you like this content, perhaps you'll consider liking and subscribing before you go if you want to see more videos from me, and I wish you a very, very happy new year. I'll see you next year. Bye.